Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Face value, then I can get away with it. I think the judge right there was very unfair. To them. Yes, I know. I'm not. I mean, corruption yabo yavakaita is a dent on the reputation of the country. And it speaks to how these guys associated with the ruling party. They are making a killing through these dubious, deceptive and corrupt ways of milking money from the treasury and taking away resources away from the folks that need them most. But I mean, when I'm looking at this, the way that the judge went all out on them, especially on that aspect of mitigating circumstances, I'm like, come on now. This judge was like, he was too pedestrian on that one. I think I believe so. Because this fraud was so sophisticated. The reason why they checks and balances is to stop sophistication of any fraudulent activities, and it can be stopped right there. If they'd gotten the tax certificate, why not just scan the barcode? They they should have just scanned the thing. Scan the barcode. Is this an authentic barcode? Is it an authentic document? So you scan the barcode, and it tells you yes, it is within the system, under this name, under that name, and whatever circumstances or whatever characteristics that are used to describe the thing, they have to be in check. But for the judge to say Gutizwa he is giving them the benefit of the doubt because the fraud was so sophisticated. Come on, I judge. Judge andangakatengwa uyo andangangakatengwa judge andaza kuziva kuti andazaona kuti anyora chipaive paatizo mozimbofu anofanira kuita restitution nekuti mari yakati iwe uri wakanyora watadza kuverenga zvaunenge wakanyora anenge anyorerwa futi anenge anyorerwa akatonyorerwa ndingina chivhayo.
we know the person who's pulling up the strings.
Hey.
He's being told what to write.
Kana dhimiyo ndingekumalenzo ndiri jaji ndanyora inini and do you know kuti pane ma-signature points ekuti kana uchinyora something pane ma-signature points so ekuti chinhu chinenge chakaita ninge semari an amount kuti aiwa uyu anofana kubhadharwa nemari yakati. Some of those things you know them by head.
You cannot.
It's a signature point.
No,
you should never be in a position to be. Jaji, I don't but anyway, guys, but is there anyone who wants to say anything here? Kana odi adofani yakaroda. Yeah. The guy told kune vamwe here vachada kutaura. But yeah, right. And then right.
Uncle Jesse, this is so sophisticated. That's why you see a lot of people are not even talking about it. Because a lot of people they are not even conversant with what is happening in judicial system and how cases are.
No, I think so. I think this one kind of what can I say? This one kind of gave us an opportunity. I know that
Yeah.
it's not something that we can, but it just it just gave us an opportunity to just understand how these guys do it. Vari mataredzi mhosva wavo mumone wakapfeka zvanenge wakapfeka zvezvi.
But I see these guys, they're not going to spend more than 5 years before they are pardoned by amnesty. Can you see that?
Kuti panext amnesty ningi vanongobuda vachiti hamuna ngagwa uchi ndarobva
Ehe, Sapatina, munhu werape, but akabudiswa akapiwa mota. Exactly, exactly that these guys will be out, will be given cars as well.
aiwa kungotizve inini
And
when I'm just looking at at this guy it's just punishment. These guys are being punished for yeah
exactly,
for what they
exactly, for
did.
exposing
Yeah,
to,
but
yeah,
anyway,
for exposing.
regarding Mkoma Cooksman zviri sei
Madi yangu chete.
havana vari semalevel
Malevhu akadhakwa.
handiti
Yes. Ini ndiri kunze ndine chinhu nangu chete.
right
Kuti macases aya ndoona senge ane politics mukati. Zvekuti isusu hedu handinyanyi kuona zvazvinotibatsira because as much as zvichigona because uchaona kuti zvandiri kuona zviri kuda kuitwa apapa. Vakomana ava zvichatanga kushandiswa as an example yekuti the second republic haitolerate corruption, but if we look at it, can we really say that considering
hama
kuti vakomana ava vanoratidza kuti vane imwe information yavaida kutobudisa yaigona kutoimplicata futi vamwe vanhu, because if it was all about justice, I think paifanira kunge pakatobuda macases aifanira kunge atosungisa vamwe vanhu by now, not kuti ari related kunyaya yembudzi, because kusungwa kwaita machinda aya manzwiro andakaita vanoratidza kuti vane umwewo umbowo hwavaida kuburitsa hune zvimwewo zvinogona kunge zvisina chekuita nembudzi, asi zviri zvinhu zvaigona kusiya vamwe vanhu vasungwa.
right
Saka ndoona sekuti as much as vasungwa, but mari yacho handifungi kuti inodzoka. Ndo chekutanga. Chechipiri, iye zvino izvi muchanzwa kana chero rakashwana vachiti handimuna zvachogara achitaura kuti aiwa hurumende yedu haitolerate corruption, honai vanhu vasungwa, vanhu veZanu PF. Saka tiri kujutwa zvakanyanyisisa zvekutoti ndoona sekuti dai zvaitogona politically maybe taifanira kutoenda kusaidi kwetimu iri. Vana Mike ivava vaigona kutozotibudisira mamwe masini atogona kutozonakirwa nawo, but inyaya yekuti hazvo pari zvino ndofunga hapasisina yekutamba because vakandwa mukati kudhara. Honestly, I'm serious angu chete. Vakomana ava vanenge vanga vari loaded. Hameno kuti
right
zvichafamba sei pamberi apo, but bo
hati zvanenge vanga reloaded. Munoona vakomana ava ningi vakabata an avenue yekuti vanhu vanyanonzwisisa kuti zvepolitics zviri kutambwa sei mukati menyika yeZimbabwe, kunyanya ningi kumatenda uku. Because kumatenda kumakwikwi. But anyway, regai tinzwe kubva kuna Matilenzo. Right, okay. Regai tinzwe kubva kuna Gondias. Gondias, how are you doing?
Masera uncle.
Muse muriraje ngoma?
That's what I'm going to dim your light a little bit. Ndaona fanika manga mchiti judge hawana kuisa weight pa point yekuti the ministry concerned haina kunyatsoita due diligence. In other words, hawana kusvika hawana kuita zvavaitarisirwa kuita. My response to that is what was on trial was not incompetence. What was on trial is fraud. Saka to the extent yekuti this incompetence would have demonstrated connivance, then it would have weighted into this matter. But I don't think that was the case that was established.
How about if that was part also of the fraud? And how about if that was the enabling part of that fraud?
Yes, and that's exactly why I'm saying.
Akungocheuka kuti away from what needs to be done.
Yeah, but when I also listened, vanenge vakatera kuti mari yakaenda kupi. Saka I think vanenge vakaona kuti mari haina kuparadzirwa ichidzokera kuministry, and therefore these guys were not part of the web. I may not be wrong because I didn't listen to the whole judgment, but I was only saying kuti kazhinji kacho incompetence is not criminalized because it's such a difficult thing to do. That's why directors of companies get away with a lot, because you can't criminalize incompetence. In this case, it will just demonstrate that these guys were poor at execution of their duties, and therefore it falls apart just like that. You can't go to jail for not being able to do your job.
No,
Then
I'm saying no. But was it a case so vaigona kuitwa revisited? But I was talking in terms of
okay.
it being a mitigating. Can it not be a mitigating?
No, it can't be. You can't say you are cooking your fraud, and then you say it should be a mitigating factor because the other person did not see your fraud.
Hey.
No, it can't. It can't. That's why the judge said that the whole essence
tenge takuvisita ma processes manje. But what I found to be odd was for the judge to say kuti they said by merely looking at the papers were convincing. How about going the extra mile of actually testing that which you are saying is convincing?
That's why I'm saying, Kakuti, all of us where we work, at some point we become complacent because we've done it so many times.
Yes.
And we let our guard down. But then the other person cannot rely on that because they let their guard down, my fraud prevailed, and therefore it's mitigating on my part.
And then I think no, and then I think vakatadza kunyatsoibuditsa that point. But the point inja yavaida kubuditsa ndeyekuti kana vekuministry vanga varimo muchidhiri ichi takatombowapo kana manhenge, but unoziva kuti mamwe madhiri anenge achinzidzo chikaputika uko unenge uri wega. Anoziva kuti mamwe madhiri anonzi chikangoputika uko shamwarika unenge uri wega, I don't know you. You understand?
Yeah. So
has nabasa as well.
Yes. So I think if they had made the point that the other guys deliberately overlooked what should have been dictated, then they demonstrate no, these guys deliberately overlooked because they connived with us